Hey guys, Burrsake here, and a lot of people have been trying to get into Halo 2 Classic. It's a really hard game to go against veterans in, and I want to give you guys a couple tips and tricks on the map Lockout. Now let's load in, and I'll explain what you should do when you first load into Lockout. So if you're playing Battle Rifle Start and you're playing Halo 2 Classic, you most likely are. So, the first thing you want to do when you come up is you want to shoot this barrel, the center one. Why? Well, the sniper comes from it. And it doesn't always go like this. The RNG of the barrels exploding sometimes makes it do different things. But, if you shoot the center one, it can land here and bounce to here occasionally. It can do this wonderful thing, which is very rare. But, there are 3 barrels up here. And if you shoot the far left one, most of the time the sniper will just tuck itself right into this corner and you won't be able to get it. And then if you shoot this one, half the time it'll bounce off this and go over here or down here again. So you want to make sure you shoot that middle one a good majority of the time if you can. Now, when you spawn on Lockout, especially in hardcore, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be somewhere in these couple spawns. So there's one that spawns there, one here, and one here if I'm not mistaken. Depending on which one you get, especially if you're closest or if you don't trust your teammates, you need to go out and you need to shoot that sniper down immediately. I mean, you can try to make a push to grab it, but just getting it off the table from the enemies is really important, because a lot of the time they'll spawn, this is called blue by the way, or left, they'll spawn bottom left, and the first thing that they're going to do is some are going to rush to Snipe Tower, some are going to go under glass and go contest sword over there, which I'll explain in a minute. But at least one is going to come up here. And their job is to either shoot one of these barrels to make the sniper do something unexpected, or to kill you as you're trying to get it. Now, of course, you can have your teammates cover you from library, but it's not 100% guaranteed that that's going to happen. And you might get multiple people to contest. But anyway, let's go back over to that BR area I was talking about. And if you're wondering why I'm saying this is BR Tower, it's because it has 3 levels and there's a battle rifle here. It's pretty simple. That's Sniper Tower, and it has the 3rd level, this 2nd level here, and then there's a basement, which is level 1, which I'll show you. And of course, this is BR3 up here. This is BR2, and finally down here is BR1. And this is under library. Nobody says library 1 to my knowledge, but this is where sword spawns. So pretty much the main power weapons that you're going to need to know about are, there's a sniper rifle that spawns in Snipe 3. There's a shotgun that spawns in green. There is the battle rifle over here, which isn't really a power weapon, but having infinite ammo can be really, really nice. And of course, you do have your sword. So library is insanely good. If you spawn here, the match is halfway done already if you play your cards right. You're gonna have one person go down here, immediately they're gonna grab a sword. Now if it's either you or another teammate, you're gonna shoot sniper down from its perch. So now Snipe Tower is not looking that attractive of an option to be anymore, because you have both power weapons, which is wonderful. And you have elevation on the entire map. You're looking down at everything, which is always good for headshots. You can see plenty of spawns. You can see what's called elbow over there that leads up from blue to Snipe Tower. And yeah, it's pretty nice. And pretty much, if you can ever help it, you want to be holding the BR Tower. You generally want 1 to 2 people on top. Generally, you'll have one person who's playing these pockets. You'll blow up these barrels, and you'll play these pockets. And there's multiple reasons for this. One is because they're going to be trying to come across here, and you've seen me do it a bunch. They're going to be attempting to do this jump up, and you need to be able to fight them off. So there's going to be one person here who has a sniper probably, and he's going to be watching Snipe Tower. If Snipe's clear, he's going to be looking top blue. If all that's clear, he's going to be looking Snipe 1 over there and elbow. So that's really important. The second person is kind of his backup. They don't really do a lot. The main things that they do is they take the pressure off of him. So say you're trying to snipe somebody here and they're shooting you in the face, so it keeps on scoping you and you're fucking pissed. You're like, I can't kill him. Well, that's this man's job. He's shooting them to unscope them, so the odds of them hitting you is a lot less likely. So you'll have one guy playing these ramps right here. Now this side of BR Tower, which leads to BR2, is called Open Ramp. Why is it Open Ramp? Well, I mean, it is a ramp, and it is open. But this is Open Ramp, so he's going to be watching Open Ramp most of the time, and occasionally he'll be team shooting people with you, so he takes pressure off you. This guy will probably have sword, or you'll give it to another player. But Snipe's up top, sword BR in second, and then you're going to have one person in library. This person's job is very, very simple. This is your lookout position. This guy is more important than the sniper, which sounds crazy. But the reason he's so important is because he can watch people from blue. He can watch people snipe too. He can come over here and look what's over. So this middle area, by the way, this is top glass. Why? Well, there's glass right here. Some people also call it pea shooter or noob combo. That's what that thing helps to do. And so this top glass area is really important to be watched. But as important as it is, it's also important to watch bottom glass, which is the second level down there. So it goes top glass, bottom glass, and then green. Because that's where that shotgun spawned, if you remember. But this guy's going to be able to watch here. He's going to be able to shoot people coming out of the blue over there. He's going to be able to watch people bottom glass, which is wonderful. He's also going to be able to tell if anybody's under him. He's going to be able to listen for those footsteps. They're harder to hear in Halo 2 Classic, but they're there. And then, of course, he can see if they're going to open ramp or if they're camping in BR1. This position is the most important. If you have a microphone and you know your teammates are hearing you, if you can help it at all, you need to play this position, especially if you trust yourself to give good information. Now, giving bad information is worse than giving no information at all. So you want to make sure your information is clean, concise, and very, very strong. You can say they're spawning bottom blue. I saw one go elbow. You can see that out that little window there. You can say they're coming to under glass. You can call how many of them there are. They're jumping over to BR1. They're going up open ramp. And especially because there's going to be one player more than likely playing here. He's going to be watching here to help team shoot. He's going to be watching here to help team shoot. He's going to be keeping people from Snipe Tower from coming over. And his job is super important because he's like the deterrent. While you may have shots on people, you unlikely are going to kill anybody. Because look at all these cover areas they have, right? Occasionally your sniper will also play this position, but that's a little bit more rare and kind of like a really good player has to be there. Because you have to take shots in the blink of an eye. But yeah, so you're going to be calling things out, and when somebody jumps over and they start going up open ramp, you probably have like 1 to 2 shots on them because you just saw them. Make sure you yell at this man or this woman, whomever it may be, and you tell them without a shadow of a doubt, there's someone coming up your open ramp, kill the guy coming up your open ramp. And you don't want to peek it initially, you just want to nade it. Because the two things are going to happen. He's either going to come into you and you're going to kill him because he's already weak, or he's going to have to run back and get shot in the head by this player. So that pretty much covers what you need to know about BR Tower. Generally, it takes about 3 players to not perfectly cover, but have a decent coverage. So you have the sniper, you have the BR sword player, you have the library spotter, and then the final guy doesn't really matter, but he's most likely going to be BR2. Like right in here somewhere. Okay, so now that we've covered BR Tower and you understand that it's a triple level system, there's open ramp and there's library. That's this side of the map done. This side of the map is where you want to be if you have the power weapons and you can hold them down. It's practically a free win if your team is really good at doing all those things. However, obviously there's more to the map than that. A lot of the times when they spawn library and start to shoot down the sniper, you're going to be spawning bottom blue. Now there's a couple things you can do here. And it's a little bit more complicated than the other one because they're not as perfectly set in stone. The first thing that you're going to do, I mean, obviously someone's going to come up here. And these people are going to start shooting at the people at library and or the people trying to get sniper. Don't die to that. That happens. Don't jump over when that's there either. You're going to die. But those people are going to be contesting snipers, shooting the people in library. Then you're going to have 1 or 2 teammates immediately come over here. Because remember, that player from library is going to drop down the second he spawns. So imagine this. He spawns right beside sword, and you spawn right here looking this direction. By the time you're turning, he's already starting to jump in the hole to get sword. So by the time you're here, he has the sword. You're going to hear ksh more than likely. Or you won't hear because it's too far away. But You can nade here, you can nade off this pillar, and you can try to fight him. But just make sure he doesn't get close to you because he's obviously going to murder you. But a quick tip for a sword encounter, if it ever does come to it, which you hope it doesn't, but it will eventually. If they have sword and they've drawn it, which is unlikely because most of the time you can instant pull out a sword and swing in Halo 2. But sometimes they'll draw it because they know they're going to kill you. The second they do that, you need to get them within lunge range where they're going to lunge, and then you need to jump off the map. So when they lunge at you, they lunge off the map. Now, sometimes you can look like a fool doing that, but sometimes you can save the entire game. Because if they have sniper and sword, you're going to be in a really rough position. So we've covered some of what blue does. Let's go into a little bit more detail over a couple other things. So there's going to be multiple people here. There's one person who goes up to sniper. Pretty much, this is so they can't get complete domination over the entire map, and so you can have some high ground. And I'll explain how to do that in just a second. Your other option is to go down here and grab the shotgun. Shotgun, of course, I mean, it's a shotgun, right? It's super duper powerful. It makes fighting on Br2 in those more cramped positions, and all the way in Sniper, Snipe 1 and Snipe 2, really, really effective because you already have something to take care of people if they're close. And then, of course, if you have to assault the Snipe Tower from this position, which is blue 1, you want to do this. So if you come out here, you can take pop shots at anybody on the snipe ramp, right? But look, if you're here, they pretty much can't see you. And if you jump onto this, they have a much harder time closing the angle. A lot of times, they'll start to come down to try to shoot you. And you can actually land on this lip right here with a single jump and then jump up. Snipe Tower is the most fun place to fight, even though most of the action happens on the BR tower. That's because there's so many angles of attack. So you can do that from here. You can do that from here, which is also really wonderful. And if you're ever sitting Snipe Tower and you can't get BR control because they have it, you can also be here. And as long as you're walking forward, you can actually shoot over it, which is insane because this is like a head peek. All they can see on the other side is just a little fraction of your head. Snipers will do this sometimes, and it makes it really tedious to deal with them. But that covers the main areas of approach from the blue side, like this. And then, of course, you can jump up from that side. So when you are on Snipe Tower, because generally, if they're holding BR library, you're holding blue snipe. It's just the way of the world, really. After that initial time, once they use all the sniper, or you kill the guy and it drops off the map or something, or it just respawns naturally, you want to be in sniper. At least for a little while. You don't want to take complete control of it, but you want to make your way from BR, and you want to conquer blue. If you are able to conquer blue with one player, and he's holding top blue, they'll probably spawn bottom blue and snipers still. Now you have a massive advantage being top blue because you can look down and shoot them before they come up. And of course the library can help call people out for that. And then you want one player to come over here and do this jump. There's a lot of different callouts I've heard for this. I just call it Snipe Jump, personally. I'll say someone's on your Snipe Jump. And this is what I mean. So if you come to here and you jump from here to here with a crouch, you'll get right over. It's super convenient. Of course, you do have to be careful because people are going to be grenading it, and if you have a perfect grenade spot here. But it's a really, really easy jump, and it opens up so much opportunity, especially if you have that shotgun, as I was saying earlier, or that sword. Now, from here, a lot of people think, well, I only have one avenue of approach, and it's coming down the ramp. Well, that is one avenue of approach, as said before. But another one that a lot of people don't think about is you can jump right here. You can nade, you can shoot, you can walk on this, which a lot of people don't even think about. So you'll have people setting B2, or Snipe 2, and Snipe 1, and they'll be like, somebody's on your Snipe Jump up, and that does happen if you don't do the little jump there. But they'll tell you that somebody is on your Snipe 3, and it's a problem, especially if they already have Snipe and they're preparing for the next spawn. The reason why it's a problem is because if you try to peek them right here, not only can they nade you super easily like this, but you got to remember their teammates are in B3. So the second you show right here, they're already shooting you in the head. If they're good players, they're going to be on top of that until they get in danger, and they're going to be shooting you in the head all the way back here. As you can see, there's sight lines the entire way. So they have complete dominion over this area, and now they're controlling like 75% of the map. And that's always a problem. But If you're in Snipe 3 and you can't seem to get out, you go here, you get shot from elbow or blue because you don't have complete control. And you're like, fuck, what can I do? Well, there's a few things. One thing you do is just this. A lot of people don't think about it for some reason, and it takes people off guard really hard. Say you've seen a bunch of nades, you know you're free for a second. You just jump right up, you start firing. So 9 times out of 10, when people are going to be watching for you, they're going to be looking for this, and their reticule is going to be right here. And they're going to have to snap up to you and start firing. And you have that high ground I was talking about earlier. So you're getting 99% headshots, and he's getting a little bit less, which is really important. You can also hide here with the ball and or the sword. This is a great position to be when you're a sword player, especially if you know they're assaulting. Say you've had one teammate get naded down there and he died, one teammate got sniped, and you know they're coming from both jump up and under. You can look and see the entire thing here with about 110 FOV. I think mine's 115 right now, but I think even with 110 you can see everything. And you can just be prepared. If they come right here, you can sword them. If they jump here, you can jump down and sword them. You can also assassinate them if they don't even realize you're there, of course. And yeah, I think that covers just about everything from Snipe Tower. But we do need to talk about taking over BR/library real quick from Snipe Tower, because it is pretty important. And I'll show a couple nade spots as well that can help you take over some things. But there's a couple things you can do. Obviously, the first and foremost thing you can do is go under glass, right? It's protection 99% of the way there. If someone's in B1, you can shoot them the entire time. You can also hide in these pockets that go up surprisingly high. So a lot of people will hit you with this grenade. If you're hitting here and you're shooting them, and you'll get shot once maybe by the player there. So you want to jump into here and then hide in this pocket. 9 times out of 10, somebody is either going to throw a nade from there and it's going to bounce here and hit up. It's not going to do any damage to you. But sometimes you'll get people throwing this grenade, and that will hurt you. Sometimes, actually. You can hide in this pocket pretty dang well. But you'll be hiding here, and you just need to call people out if you have others helping you. So that's one way, of course. You can come down here, you can try to tackle BR1 with the boys, and start going up open ramp. You'll want to have somebody team firing so they can shoot this guy. More than likely, you've killed this guy with grenades or something. That's the only way you're actually going to get a push in. And you're going to be team firing that guy. Somebody's going to get an open ramp, and then you'll start taking that. Now, it's really important to note that there's a lot of team fire positions here. And the most basic one is... So somebody's coming and they're going to BR1 because they want to take BR3 from the power weapons. You can be here and shoot the guys on open ramp, because as I said earlier, there's going to be a guy, BR2 more than likely, and he's going to come over and he's going to start shooting this guy on open ramp in the face. Well, if you're team shotting him, it's going to make that guy's life a lot easier. So that's a great position. You can also go down to blue 1 and shoot this guy in the face while you're shooting your teammate in the face, which always helps. Of course, you'll probably have someone snipe too, and they'll be shooting people as well if they can. And you can see open ramp from here. You can see the library. You can see the library ramp to B3. You can see the library bridge. That's what that's called right there. But yeah, that's a couple of interesting spots. Now, let's say this happens. You kill B1. You're weak from library. Your teammate's holding him down. You know that Snipe 3 is being covered, or you know that BR3 is being covered because people are shooting him in the face. You can do this. This is surprises tons of people. Because once you kill BR1, the guy that's BR2 is going to start panicking, or the open ramp player, and they're going to have to watch ramp the entire time. So you can actually make this jump. This jump is really, really important because it's a surprise. Because this guy is going to be looking here, and that guy is probably going to be looking there. This guy is being held down. So you can jump here, especially if you have teammates in Snipe 3 and they're covering you, and you can start team firing your way across. And once you get here, these pillars are incredibly powerful because you can line of sight pretty much everything. Of course, you'll eventually die if the whole team starts shooting at you, but you'll make them very, very annoyed, and they'll have to poke their heads out and your teammates can shoot them. Then once you get here, of course, you can just jump up, and then you have cover here, and you can kill the guy up here. But that pretty much covers your approach from Snipe 3. There's really not a lot. The main things you need to worry about is the guy from Snipe 2. If they kill someone here or here and they don't have sniper, they're going to try to take it from you at B3. The common approaches are to send 2 people library, because they can team fire the guy in here and kill him. Then they have great positioning to kill this guy, because one guy's going to shoot him here. If he goes in the corner, you're just going to nade. This guy can shoot him from here, or he's going to go right here. And you're going to bring your sniper from B3 down to library, which is always risky. So they're going to have two people coming this way more than likely. There's going to be one guy under glass, almost for sure. And then one of those library players might sneak up here. So you have a lot to worry about when they come from Snipe Tower. And of course, you have people coming up open ramp. So assaulting from Snipe Tower is pretty ideal. Having one guy top blue is pretty ideal as well, just because he can kind of give you information. This is almost the counterpart to your window player right there in library. He'll be giving his team information, and you can give people tons of information. And like, you don't even have to peek the Snipe Tower or the BR if they have sniper up there. You can just sit here and do this. Take a look. You might get shot in the head, but if you give enough info, it'll be fine. Anyway, let's talk about a few common tactics once you get to the BR tower, because you're probably thinking, oh my god, I struggled and tried and everything and we're over here. Well, it's not all rainbows and sunshine once you get here, unfortunately. Even BR1 is quite dangerous to be in with a full team above you trying to infiltrate their power weapon setup. The most common strategies, as I said earlier, is someone, or you, is going to have to shoot this guy library, because he's 100% going to be shooting you in the back or the face, depending on what you're doing. Of course, you have to watch for them dropping down, especially if they have sword. This is where that shotgun comes in handy. And then, most importantly, when you come to open ramp, there are two decisions that you have to make almost immediately. When you come around this corner, you have to look up here. What do you see? Is there one player? Is there two? Do you know if people are dead? What power weapons do they have? Etc. If no one is at this open ramp, you have two decisions. You can either start moving into here and trying to hold this area or this area. Of course, you'll want to be actually fighting people, not just hiding in corners, but you'll be in a position where they can't ignore you any longer. In BR1, they can ignore you for as long as they want, as long as you don't make moves. BR2, you have too many positions, and you have a chance to give your teammates spawns in BR1, which they're no longer in, which means that they could quickly be overwhelmed by an infinitely respawning group of people. The second idea is to come up here on this. So pretty much, you come here, you see that nobody's watching, you immediately jump here. Once you get, you know, somewhere in this area, you turn to the right and you jump right here, just like on Snipe Tower. You can sit here without people knowing. You can be tedious. Sometimes they'll see your toesies, so you have to be careful about that. But then, more importantly than that, is you can make this jump to the antenna. And then you have BR3 control. So all the way from BR1 to BR3 without having to worry about library, which is so fantastic. Now, you do have to be cautious, because of course, if you come up here and you get shot in the back by this dude, the information giver, when you jump up here and he's gonna be BR2, they're obviously gonna start looking over there. And if they don't see you, they're gonna be like, he's on jump up. That's what we call this. You can also call it satellite sometimes, so I just call it jump up. He's on BR jump up. And yeah, they'll call you out and they'll murder you. But hopefully, if you have a full team all dedicated to doing something, it should work out pretty well. Now, before we end this video, because that is the main strategy I wanted to go over, if I missed anything, let me know. If you guys need more information or want more examples. Oh, one more thing, actually. Before we go, I want to show you one important thing. So you have BR control, you ran out of sniper, you still have sword, you're like 30 up, but they have sniper now, and they're really good players as well. Well, it's important that you kill them. I mean, I don't think I need to tell you that in Halo, but there are certain grenade positions. That's not a good example of it. Actually, it was a decent one, but there's certain grenade positions that just naturally land in places that you'd want to mess up. Like right there, that hits the back here. So if you have a BR player sitting up there and he's sniping with his BR and he's fighting someone here, you can nade right there and hit him a lot of the time. Another one is right up off the top of this. That didn't hit anything actually. But right up off the, there we go, the top of that also lands right there. And of course you can hit this and it'll land here. You can hit this, it'll land here, etc. Let me show you a few more, because these are important. These aren't things that you think about immediately when you are assaulting something, but they can make or break a game. A great nade is right here. It'll bounce off of that and land perfectly at S2. That'll destroy tons of players when they're not expecting it, because a lot of people will be playing this pillar, especially if they have blue control. They'll play this pillar because it's super annoying to deal with, and that will absolutely annihilate them. Let's think of a couple more here. So another one that's pretty, I wouldn't say common, but is very, very useful is this. That's a Br3 Nade right there. That'll mess up whoever's up there. Of course, you can bounce any nade that you want off of this to give yourself time to jump over. Nades are super duper creative, and it's probably the most interesting thing about Halo, honestly. Shooting is great and all, but nades really make the game. Oh, and one more thing, you probably saw me do it a second ago. It's kind of hard, and you might murder yourself a few times, so if you learn how to do it, you'll be happy. When you want to do this jump up, because a lot of times people are already sniped too, and the second you come here, they're going to shoot at you. And if you do this, I mean, you have 3 shots in you before you even reach here, and then you're just dead to a melee. But if you come here, they don't even know you're coming, and you hit your head off of this raised part. Not this, because if you do this, you don't go anywhere. But if you hit your head off of that raised part, you will perfectly be in line for a quick triple jump up. It's a little bit more difficult, but not by a lot. Generally, what I do is at the apex of my jump, when I know I'm going to hit it, I crouch. And that gives me a lot of wiggle room to make sure I land perfectly on it. A few more nade points that are important is a lot of the times when you're coming up the ramp here towards Sniper, there's going to be people jumping over or sitting on the ledge trying to kill you. You just throw a nade right there. It'll land pretty much right on them. You can, of course, do that here. You can do that there. And this will cover a lot of different places. I actually missed that nade, but there's a nade spot in this general vicinity that'll make it land at the top there. Other than that, I mean, I don't even need to show you frag nade bounces. Those are pretty self-explanatory. There's a couple more that are kind of useful. So pretty much, when you come here, Snipe is interesting, because if you're using this spot, you can hide here from B3, and you can see if they're coming to jump up from library. It's really, really useful. You can be like, I see people coming up from library, they're going top glass. Or if you're in this position, which is a lot more rare, but it does happen occasionally, you can be like, I see peel, 2 peel top blue. This nade is very, very strong. You throw it, look where it lands, right in the center where they're playing the pillars. You can also do a similar one, just aim down a little bit further, and boom, right in that corner pocket. You can do it on the other one as well. I don't think that was a good nade, but we'll see. It was close. But those nades are really important. So I think that covers everything that I want to talk about with Lockout. I don't want to make this video, it's already 30 minutes, but these are very, very important things, and Lockout is one of the most loved and highly played maps in Halo. And I just wanted to give you guys the tips that you needed to have a better understanding of the map, understand positions and where people can come from, give you grenade information and power weapon information. So this has been Burrsake. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys did enjoy, leave a like. Let me know you want more videos like this. And I'm probably going to do at least one more. Let me know what map you guys would like to see. I can even go over some big team battle strategies. Even though, you know, that doesn't really that doesn't really matter. But the next video I'm going to make, and this is without people showing support or not, is I'm going to make a glitch video on how to perform the famous Halo 2 glitches, the best practices for them, where to use them, and how to use them. So thank you guys for watching. I do love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone from Lockout.